the button and look at the back. Look at the back. Is it on the heart?
It's on the heart.
It's on the heart.
But I thought you didn't want it on the heart.
I thought we wanted the heart of the circle.
You said you had it already set for that. Hold on. Let me pull up the thing.
Okay, y'all. Hold on.
So here's the thing. Which one you wanted on? Because it said bi-directional 2-person interview.
Yeah.
Is the double circle.
Double circles in. That's what I want on.
Can they hear you?
Can you hear me? Are we live?
Give us a thumbs up if you can hear.
Wow. Juma, you better get home, fool. Flyby's ready. I'm here. What up, Divine Ware? No. Exciting tonight, y'all. Tonight we're going to do something no one's ever done before. I'm going to do nothing but go through the live chat and go through your questions about the Iraqi dinar. Anything, everything, whatever it is, for like a solid, like at least hour, you got me. Now, you know that I got something else to do at 8 o'clock. Love After Lockdown comes up, and like that's on the couples channel. We try to promote that couples channel. We're going to mukbang something. We don't know what, whether it be seafood or fast food. We don't know, but it all depends on where y'all take me tonight and what it all do. Now, I ain't trying to be, difficult, but we got some business to handle, so let's go on and get it started.
I'm sorry, hold on a second. Okay, so the mic is good, right? I was just trying to make sure somebody gave me it, so no one said anything.
No. Mr. Brando don't do that.
Yeah, he doesn't like sweet.
Nothing sweet. Ain't sweet about beef on my check. My check ain't sweet either. Hey, y'all, look at her. She's my queen. My everything.
Let's get this right.
Okay.
No, so you can see the mic too.
I can see it and I can smell it. What's going on, y'all? How are y'all doing tonight? How are y'all tonight? It's Friday night. We're 5 minutes into it. We'll go over 5 minutes. It don't matter. I'll do it.
Okay.
Tonight, the very first.
I am April BB.
And I am Mr. Brando. And welcome to the status of the reinstatement of the Iraqi Dinar IQD. So, if I want to just be really on it tonight, I don't know if y'all want to hear any news or not, but I figured y'all didn't want to hear any news. Y'all want to ask your questions. So I'm going to try to tie the questions into what I know the news is about. Does that make sense? You're showing 250. I'm showing 210. That just shows you how Google Analytics works. So y'all, my hair is down and it's long and my team's strong. We're without Babe tonight. She had a party to go to. So shout out to Babe. Do your thing out there in East Houston. And let's go. What are y'all's questions? Y'all want to call? Call. I'm open to suggestions.
Or why don't you read? Do you have any news that you?
I have news, but I thought we were gonna just do straight calls.
So until someone decides to call.
All right. So y'all want some news? A little bit of news, real quick. I'll give you a little bit of news.
You don't have dead air.
I don't have dead air. Okay. Thank you. So, the news that I thought was really, really important today. Another article surfaced about the deletion of the 3-0 currency still exists, and that was in January. That was 30th of 2019. It said the Director of Insurance and Cabinets, Abdul Karim Hassan Shannon, that the project to delete the zeros was supposed to start in 2014. But security events and the control of the state regulations of 5 provinces led to a delay, pointing out that the project is to delete the 3 zeros from the current currency with the introduction of large currencies and currency metals, which I think is a translation error. They're going to take the 3 zeros off the actual note as well as the exchange. We've argued that all day long. We can argue it tonight. But it's to take the 3 zeros off the notes and simultaneously off the exchange rate. And they're going to put out smaller category notes. That just tells you, again, smaller category notes. Now, I was in a chat earlier, and someone was like, oh, they always say that. They always say that. They've been saying that since 2010. Well, you know what? I'm here to tell y'all they ain't did it yet. And they keep talking about it, so they're about to do it. They ain't got no choice in doing it because the donor conference money's up. What's up for grabs. And if you want to get your hands on that currency, then you're going to have to, in some ways, get yourselves together and get it going. I can't see the questions from there. There was an economist out of, his name is Gadir Attar on Thursday, the importance of the restructuring of the economy according to the structure of the global context and the reform of the business environment, laws and procedures make it convenient and enlarge private sector activity involvement. Now, we've talked so much about the private sector. We've got to get the private sector involved. I tweeted it out today. If y'all are my Twitter fans, Mr. Brando, YouTube, on Twitter, I tweet out a couple things. I'm not a great Twitter person yet. Shout out to I Stay Woke. Shout out to Liz. Shout out to Mr. Frazier. Shout out to Joe. Shout out to Metroid. Shout out to all those people that follow me and the other 15 people that follow me. I tweet out little things all day long. And you probably think, well, where does he get all this stuff for his interviews? I get a little bit from there. I get a little bit from here. You know what I mean? Wherever I can get it from. Now, the thing that I think that is really interesting about this is it's the third paragraph that says, he pointed out that Article 110 of the Constitution provides for the exercise of the federal authorities' exclusional powers in the formation of economic policy and foreign trade, as well as the formulation of trade policies across the borders of the provinces in Iraq and development of the general budget of the state and the formulation of monetary policy. He pointed out that the private sector has a fundamental role in the societies as the cornerstone of the economy, and that private sector projects are capable of eliminating the unemployment. So now you got to look for what's not being said. So in articles I've already shown you that they've already said that if you're an American company, you come into Iraq, you've got to employ at least 50% of your company in Iraqis. This article right here, and it could be a translation here, it could be, but what they're saying is eliminate the unemployment of Iraq. Wouldn't that be awesome if you could eliminate the unemployment of America?
Heck yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I've said it before. I think, Ms. BB, we don't necessarily all the time agree on political lines, but we all agree on one thing. We don't need more taxes. We do need more taxpayers, right? So foreign investment abroad would add to our tax involvement in the world, right? Mm-hmm. Because those currencies would be charged a certain amount to do business. And as well as employ Americans, it would also employ people here in the States, the IRS, the federal government, all those people that process tax and whatever else may be, right?
Can the world just be ran on taxing certain goods and that's it? Properties?
Well, I would say that's a New World Order event, and I don't think so. No, that we don't want a New World Order, babe. That's not good. New World is bad.
I don't like taxes.
I know you don't, honey, but taxes are necessary. It pays for fire. It pays for police. It pays for school.
We pay for that through our property taxes. That's what I'm saying. If we tax certain,
but baby, it supplements it. Not everybody's a homeowner. Are we going to argue taxes online right now?
Oh, I was just making a conversation. That's not
I'm talking. We're talking. You want to talk about taxes?
It's not an argument.
Do you want to talk taxes?
No.
I'm all about taxes right now.
I was just having a conversation.
We're talking. Can we talk?
Yeah. It was great.
Is that a poncho you're wearing?
It's something.
Is that Da Vinci? Because we revalued?
No. I went to work today, so we revalued.
I was at home, y'all. I've been sick all day. Feel sorry for me. Little baby. Anyway, he pointed out that all countries that rely on the market economy are private banks of high quality, durability, and have a large area of work to develop. Again, taking those very small provinces and tariffs that are out there and establishing them that they got to deal in dinar or euro at the tariff line. Remember, because somebody asked me today, well, what about the tariffs and taxes? Well, the tariffs and taxes are only enforceable if you enforce them in such a manner that it makes it applicable to the areas that the tariffs are implied. Up there in Kirkuk, Turkey, wherever else those Middle Eastern borders are, if you don't have a tariff system in place that they can deal only in dinar or euro, it kind of doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because we know that Iraq just signed that monumental deal with Iran, right? Which is one of their 13% of their trade partnership GDP that says they'll only do those things. Now, my whole theory is you have to put an exchange company or a bank, someone that's there, because even if you have taxes and tariffs, who collects them? Is it done electronically? Is it done through some type of scan code? I don't know. I haven't been privy to that information, but I think that if you're going to include that in your discussion about being international, you have to have a system in place to handle that, okay? So that's what people are not talking about. They're not talking about, well, tariffs and taxes are going to make you international. Well, I get you, but if you can't collect the tariffs and taxes, what does it mean to be international? What does that mean? It means nothing. Zero.
Any word on the HCL?
Any word? Yeah, I have an article. Matter of fact, right here.
Do tell.
Where is it? HCL. Someone mentioned the HCL. Daisy Hush.
What is going on with her, Miss Theme?
There was an article out talking about the whole laws of the what was it called? Oh, here it is. Okay, so I'll give you some background real quick. The possibilities of opening a dinar account of Iranian banks in Iraq and opening branches of one of the largest Iraqi banks in Iran will mark a new chapter in interactions between the two countries. Now, if you skip down a couple lines, Majid Shakiri, an economist and analyst, in an interview with Mer news agency, referring to the visit of the Iraqi central bank director, Abdul Nasir Hamadi, to Iraq, said that the trip was both the most important and positive in terms of content of the foreign currencies this year. In addition, Iraq is a very important country in Iran's foreign exchange map, and it's considered to be the most important export destination of Iran in recent months. Now, this isn't the article. It might be Article 2. It is Article 2. I apologize. We'll get to that. He pointed out that Article 10 or Article 12 stipulates that the government has... Oh, yeah, here it is. Article 112 of the paper that I just mentioned about the laws and procedures stipulates that the federal government and the governments of the region and provinces producing together to draw the strategic policies necessary to develop the wealth of the oil and gas. That is profit sharing. Because we're going to develop it. They've already committed to sharing it. We know that the article is passed. Now it's about implementation.
Implementation.
Bam! That's why she's smart. Very smart. I can't say it. My head is killing me. Question, please. Sorry, y'all, dead time, but this is a success. Temptation there. That's it. Oh, he added, in a market is a bazaar related to Istanbul, Dubai, and thus has a serious impact on the cash market of Tehran, while considering the demographic situation in Iraq. So remember, if they open banks, a strategic bank in Iraq, and they have banks that are in Iraq, in Iran, and they're only dealing in two currencies, and one not being the Rial and two not being the USD. So one being the IQD and two being the euro. The euro, I don't know what its cash value right now is against the dollar, but I know that because they are not introducing, and I'm stressing this, introducing no new currency value to the environment, the physical environment, meaning that not like the United States government, they're not printing more currency and putting it out. You see what I'm saying? The currency is available right now, that the supply for the IQD goes up and the demand for it goes up, correct?
Right.
Thus increases the value of the IQD. That's it.
When do you think they'll stop exchanging it?
Who?
The IQD, the at the current rate. Like, when do you
at 1190?
No. I mean, okay, so people can still acquire IQD in the United States, right? At what point in time will that the amount change or fluctuate? Like, will we, once the rate goes international, then it'll change?
No, you can still buy the silver, the pound on Forex. You can still buy the whatever currency Kuwait dollar in a bank. You'll never stop. This is the whole myth about the IQD. It doesn't mean that someone's going to stop selling it. They're just going to sell it for a different nominal value than what they sell for today.
Okay, I mean, I get that. I was just wondering because like right now.
So you seem like on eBay. If someone's selling
no, not eBay. Like if I go to Memorial City Mall.
Okay.
And like I've talked to them. I think $100, $100 maybe plus some tax or change or whatever. Like I say, 105. They give me $100K IQD.
Right.
And I'm just wondering at what point in time that'll either fluctuate or they'll halt or change or, like put a pause. Like if they know something's about to happen.
They won't tell you. They'll still let you buy. If it's seconds beforehand, they cannot tell you. Mm-hmm. You feel me?
Yeah.
Meaning that if I turn my money in at 12 o'clock and at 12:05 it realities, but I already have my currency. Mm-hmm. All I'm simply going to do is take my currency and give it back to them and say, I want it back in USD.
So until it's official on the 4X, I should be able to get it the rate they quoted.
Correct.
Okay. I'm just thinking out loud.
Yeah, because let me tell you like this. So, okay, there was a big thing out there about like Wells Fargo going down. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Several banks went down. I tweeted it. There's a lot of speculation going on about it, but couldn't it just be a system update? Do you not think the whole world economy is not based on Iraq? There are other countries involved. Now, Iraq might be a key component in that, but they're not going to stop the world financial system because of Iraq. And if we thought so, then we're a little bit vain. Okay? Or Zim or whatever other currencies you hold.
Okay.
He said, Mark says, I was watching Eyes Open Media just a few minutes ago. He was reading an article, if I'm understanding right, that they are still planning to remove the zeros. I just read that. Yep, they are. Hey, Sylvia, 100th Monkey, what's going on? My Falcons have the mumps. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah. You should give your Falcons some medicine.
Kenneth Sales, our banker guy.
Yep.
He said, my friend said that her B of A cards weren't working today. Wells Fargo had problems yesterday, and Chase said that they were having a high call volume last week. Like I always say, watch the banks. They hiding this.
You can't say that it's not something to that because Wells Fargo went down, Bank of America now down. Someone even told me Chase was not having good operational value right now.
So let me say this about systems because I work in accounting systems.
Okay.
When we're doing updates, when we're doing changes, it's important for all the users to be out the system. So that halts things. Right? So they could be going through some updates for certain reasons.
Right.
And that's why things crash. And oftentimes when you pull it back up, the system comes back up. It's not always 100%.
Correct. So it may take time for all the users to be able to get online and be able to access their banking transactions. Mm-hmm. Hence, if I'm in a big building, giving an analogy, right? Mm-hmm. People that are dealing with the systems, let's say IT, are able to deal with it like immediately because they got the first influx of the new system, the new algorithm that's implemented. And hence, buildings, let's say 10 through 20 don't get it as fast as maybe like 9 through 1 get it, right? Mm-hmm. They're all going to get it, just maybe not exactly at the same time. Right. Same idea.
And then you have your due diligence, your testing behind the scene. So, we go through user acceptance testing, UAT. So oftentimes we might test for things. And even though we've tested, we haven't tested for everything.
Okay. And so in saying that, would you also say this, Ms. BB, that if they tested it for this and tested it for that in an accounting firm, let's say that deals with like a oil and gas company, right? Mm-hmm. Don't you think they would double test it and triple test it for a bank? Because they're accessible to like hacking and theft.
That's what I'm saying. Like they test things, right? But then there's things that might get missed.
Correct.
So if the system comes back up and it crashes, that means there is something wrong with the system itself, like what they put in place. Mm-hmm. So they might be testing for A, B, but forgot C. Right? So then they implement the changes and they say, okay, we tested for A, we tested for B. But they put it in D, place, and F, we didn't know. Then a different variable happens. C happens, and you're like, oh, shoot, the system went down. So I'm just saying in general, because this is what I face all the time with upgrades, right? Because the IT people aren't the functional users, right? So they're just all technical, right?
Correct. In a perfect world, it works like this.
If they don't ask us for our input, they're probably missing key components. And so that happens in banking too. That happens in almost every industry.
Okay.
Because IT people oftentimes are not finance people.
Okay, so based upon your financial background and your record, so to speak, even though it's not maybe all the way disposed, what is the odds of Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and Chase all having the same malfunction at the same time?
They're probably all pushing for the same thing.
Or they're all in the same financial system.
Right. So I'll give you an example because I'm in healthcare, right? The government required that they go from ICD-9 to ICD-10.
Right.
All the institutions in America are supposed to be on ICD-10.
Okay.
So each institution had different softwares, but they're all geared towards ICD-9.
Right. 10. Right.
They go live.
So what if I'm the only guy in the cubicle off to the left who doesn't update?
Hold on, I'm not done yet.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So testing for years, thousands of consultants out there, they hit the switch.
Right.
You go see the doctor, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they swipe your insurance card, it should tell you what you have available, what's your copay, all of that stuff.
Right.
They had a bottleneck. Why? Because they didn't think the process all the way through. So it's supposed to be an electronic record and it's supposed to bill you all the way through the insurance part. The insurance part was broken. And so with it being broken, your insurance company never received that bill. Okay. So you see the hiccups?
I do, but I have another question for you. In the billing process of that coding, correct? Is it possible that some people got overcharged for their
They didn't get charged at all because the billing was broken. So think about this. It's a rope. Okay. If the rope is cut, you can't make, or it's a bridge. Right. If the bridge is chopped off, you can't make it across.
So there could have been an anomaly that said the bridge is cut, everything's valued at $1 right now.
There's no validation. Your information never fires off to the insurance company.
So how would these institutions out there in a banking environment know the value of something based upon one thing or another?
Well, it has to like piggyback. So probably feed off Forex or the exchange or the stock market, what have you. It just depends. They're getting fed information, but if there is a break, and that's where I was going with that, the information is not going to drop in. But
my point to that is if there's a break, there's no answer. There's not a answer.
It's dead.
My point exactly. So the anomaly of all the banks crashing at the same time is an anomaly. It's just one thing that happens from one thing to another. It has nothing to do with an RVRI or JESRA, NESRA, or anything else that is possibly linked to what we're trying to accomplish here today.
Right.
Correct. Okay, so we're going on. And that's good feedback because I didn't know that. I was dying to ask that question.
Okay.
Okay, y'all. Good evening, Tanisha. Hey, Mel Heidi. Al Taylor, good evening. What's up, Hilda?
Can you guys see us? Peter Marshall says he can't see.
You can't see us?
Yeah, he said, am I the only one that can't see you?
I can see you.
Right. And I can see on my phone. I see the live broadcast.
So. The lights are on. We're going.
I'm not sure. And that could have been earlier.
Turn it off and turn it back on, Peter. Okay, I'm still on mic check. No sound, no sound.
You're past that. I'm at 7:05 with Metroid. All the investors in the house, haters, get out. What's up, Metroid?
Metroid, what's up?
Metroid bought some dong today.
Metroid bought dong? Comment tu se va?
Trip in the bag says 5 minutes in, 5 minutes out. He's not getting what he wants tonight.
Oh, man. Damn, Trip. Sorry, bro. This is about questions, not mine, yours. What were we doing? The 800 numbers. There's no. He said, what we're doing. The 800 numbers. Now there's something.
Thanks, Barbara. Thanks, Dottie.
No,
you got any more news?
There's no more news.
Oh, okay. I just asked.
I mean, the only thing that I have that's news that I have proof of is that Ghazi, the person I told you was going to be the Secretary of Commerce. Mm-hmm. I know that I got an article from my boy from Baghdad that says he takes over the office next month.
Okay.
I mean, that's nothing. I mean, we already knew that. I'm not going to beat a dead horse or
right.
beat another YouTuber into the ground with that. You know what
I'm
saying?
Thanks,
Seamus. Seamus said that he got a call from Safe Dinar, I believe. We talked about that, saying something about what is the couple channel? Swinging?
Huh?
What is the couple?
The couples channel is Mr. and Mrs. J. It's on YouTube.
Swinging? No, we don't swing.
No, baby. No swingers here.
Good evening. Hi.
XRP needs to hit me up too.
XRP.
I tried to add him it didn't come up.
XRP, hit us up in the private chat so she can add you as a mod.
Like, what is your full name on YouTube? You can DM me or message me on Facebook or in the group. He knows which group it is.
Oh, Monica, you're welcome. You guys shout out if you guys want me to do like a rundown on Thursdays. I'm going to do Thursdays. I'm going to do the stock portfolio, but I'm also on Thursdays. If you guys want to recap, I might do 2 videos on Thursday. Yeah, security is always the utmost concern, especially in dealing in a banking environment. How much would that be for the notes?
For what?
$25,000 with $25. But see, the problem, Stefan, that you're facing with that is that if you don't know the exchange rate, I don't care if they lop off 10 zeros. It doesn't matter unless you know what the exchange rate is. Miss BB, you fine. Malcolm, quit on my wife, Malcolm. Kick your ass.
He didn't mean nothing.
I'm just joking. So a 5,000 note turned into $5 at a rate. No, Brian, no. Let's just say the exchange rate's $20. If a $5 note's a $5 note, it just became $100. You don't know that. That's the unknown unknowable. That's what they're saying. And I'm not trying to say that to be mean to you. I'm just saying that without the exchange rate, if they lop off 3 zeros off the currency, it has to go concurrently with the nominal rate, which will in true give you the true value of the dinar. The Gazette, yeah, the Gazette goes in Monday or Wednesday, I believe. Hey, Bree. How would they delete the 3 zeros off of a $255 note? Seamus, that's a great question. They can't delete the 3 zeros off those notes if there's not a nominal value to those notes, to the exchange rate. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So they lop the zeros off. It means nothing. It's like me giving you $1, but I owe you $1.50. You see what I'm saying? They have to give value. That's why we're looking for the $100 dinar, the 50, and the 25, or the metallic forms that they talked about earlier. Hence, giving the value to the dinar. Hey, Kevin, S. Dot. We know it ain't worth 84 cents. We damn sure do know that. Happy Friday, Sandra. Sylvia, Andrea, no. I don't know.
Are you looking at Brian's message about 84 cents?
Yeah, I saw that one.
Oh, okay. And it actually is 8 cents.
Yeah, and listen, Destin Yeglifly. Kangaguru. I am a Kangaguru.
Oh my gosh.
To hell with the IRS. I'm with you, but you guys got to understand something. Without a system in place to distribute all of our funds that are implemented. IRS. To hell with the IRS? Is pro IRS?
No, I said you're pro.
No, I hate the IRS. I hate the Fed as a whole. If you want me to go on a tangent, the Fed is, there's no debtors prison, so why is there debt with the IRS? The IRS is nothing more than a function of the inability of the American government to perform its fiscal budget based upon the basic principles of economics. That is the whole problem with the IRS. Fuck the IRS.
No cursing.
I'm so sorry. I'll put $1 in later.
We're gonna sit the swear jar out here so you can see how full it gets.
I'm sorry, y'all. Hi, everyone. As I read in 2014, so I have stated, here's a 25,000 note will be exchanged for the lower note. Hence making, but yeah, Ed, the whole thing is you're not expecting the exchange rate to change or float. So I concur. Or I detour, however you want to look at it. Shout out from Kokomo. Oh, I love Kokomo. It's a beautiful place. IRS won't exist soon. God, I hope so. I'm late. Sammy, you're never late. You're always on time. We're here for it. I think it's going to be both the rate note. Yeah, S. Dot, you're right. It's going to be both. And that's where your value comes from, because if they do both, that's basically what we're anticipating. I'm preparing you guys for the worst. If you think about the worst and you get the best, then I seem super smart at the end of this.
Well, it's meeting expectations, right? So if you walk around saying 325, 325, 325,
right?
That you speak that. I mean, there's a couple of ways you can look at it, speak into existence, but also you're also making people think that that's exactly where it's going to be.
Or if I tell these guys every week, 3 times a week, this weekend, next Tuesday, next Thursday, and I never get it right? Then I'm a jerk. I mean, for real. Like you wasted your hour with me, and I'm not going to do that to you guys. We're not going to waste time.
And my thing is, I'm a planner, so I pull out my notepad, start doodling and planning and thinking. Like, well, 325. What can I do with that?
Brian, you're absolutely right. The income tax you do pay is a zero interest loan that the government takes out on you for a year. Basically, it says
that again.
The interest, the money's collected from your IRS tax return, go into a fund, and basically our banking system, the U.S. government uses it as an interest-free loan for a year. They collect interest on it, but you don't get that money back.
Of course not. And then they charge you interest if you file exempt and you pay them later.
Right. I only owe $25,000, Sandra. Well, darn. I wish I only owed that.
Angelica's cooking wings and watching us tonight.
Angelica, call in. Angelica, give us some good news tonight.
She cooking. Let the woman
She can call. You can make wings and call. Somebody call me.
Girl, just keep cooking them wings.
Y'all, this is supposed to be an all-call channel, or all-question channel.
He will try to work you to death. I know.
I've never done this, so I'm doing it live because you guys have so many questions on Mr. Brando. Thank goodness for every shout to everybody on Mr. Brando. YouTube, shout to everybody on Facebook. All you guys that got all these questions that want to text me privately, ask.
So I asked Angelica any new news, and she said not yet, but the bank situation is very odd. So just letting you know.
Is that all she said?
In another group. Hold on. Some statement was made. Oh, okay. She said in another group, a statement was made. The RVRI does not need the budget, but the budget needs the RV and the RI.
I know exactly where she got that from.
That is why they are doing everything else first.
Because you don't need the IQD for the budget, but the IQD has to be in the budget. That was the way I heard it. I get it, the statement. Mean that.
Where'd she get that from? Oh, okay.
I'm everywhere, y'all, and nowhere. But I agree with that statement.
I got the T, y'all. I know where she got that from.
Trying to stay in the loop on my investment. RD per spot. You're in the loop if you understand this. We know that there's a lot of behind the scenes things going on right now. Amiri just met with Sauder, which Sauder's been super quiet lately about the formation of the government. We know that there's an alliance being met there, and they're supposedly trying to either superinvent some things or get some things to happen. But we also know that in the budget that says that the finance manager who's already been set is in control with the PM for the budget. And we also know the donor conference has to go through the finance minister. And through that, the PM signs off on it. The U.S. government is sitting back in the way saying that's okay. And then they can distribute the money. And once they touch that, we're home free. Banks have been acting funny. You're right about that. Greetings from Multidimensional. 15th per Brad. Y'all, I said that last time. Hold him to it. Don't hold him to it.
What happened?
Vital Brad said the 15th of February there will be an RV. Now, I can't say that. I don't know that to be true. If y'all want to hold him to that, hold him to that. I'm not saying the 15th. I already told you my timeline and what my expectations are. Hi, Ginger.
And Metroid, Angelica is home cooking wings, okay?
Now, think logically. You all...
And she's watching.
Okay, you all with all this dinar held to the side in mind, boggling quantity, how could it be reimbursed for a larger rate of worth? Just a fancy now, in my opinion. Now, Kevin, that's an interesting statement she made.
Kevin says what now?
He says, now think logically. You all with all this dinar held to the side in mind, boggling quantity, how could it be reimbursed for a larger rate worth? Just a fantasy. Well, Kevin, to answer your question exactly would be, we know that at large is about $44 trillion in dinar. We know that. It's been published. And also we know that there's about 60 to 120,000 reserves. So at about 60 to 120,000, I think last time I heard was 10 cents, not taking into account inflation and other precautionary measures, you could perceivably go for $1, no problem. So I don't understand your statement. Restate it to me because you didn't make any sense. You don't understand exactly what's being held because you don't read. And number two, well, I'm not saying you don't read. I'm saying he didn't read the article. I read the article. I mean, I can't help that. Am I wrong?
Well, I mean, he didn't have the article to read.
Well, why didn't he?
Do you have it?
Yeah, I can pull it up.
I mean, well, did you give it to them?
No, because this is about calls.
Okay.
About questions. This wasn't a question. This is a statement. I'm giving a rebuttal to a statement based upon a fact. a fact that I read about that maybe he didn't know or wasn't privy to the information.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying to him is I'm not downing him. I'm just saying that I know there's about 44 trillion in dinar that's out there. I also know there's about 120 out there and more being sold that's going to be worth probably in the trillion somewhere based upon inflation, based upon gold, based upon the monetary system. That currency is going to be worth more because of those things. Plus the demand going down because of Iran or going up because of Iran and their trade agreements with Jordan, Israel, Turkey, and everybody else. There's going to be a nominal change in that value because of those facts. So what is he saying? I mean, is he in here just because it's fun to be in here with us? I mean, it's fun. Kevin, thank you.
And Peach just says, I don't think we need the government seated for it to happen.
We don't because the actual players that are in place that need to be seated are seated. We don't. So you're going to say, well, what's the holdup? If I knew that, I'd pick lottery numbers. I would be faster. I don't mean to be a jerk, y'all, but I'm just saying to you guys, if I knew why they were delaying, maybe because of it's the winter there, they're having lots of rain, and they're just, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there are so many factors that could go into that nuance that I couldn't even begin to expound upon because the idea that there's a holdup, who says there is? Maybe this is their plan the whole time, right? Because it's not on my time doesn't make it late, right? Mm-hmm. It's on Iraq's time, and Iraq has never said we're going to revalue our currency on this date and missed it. Or we're going to revalue our currency on that date and missed it. All they've ever said was we're going to have an international value of our currency sometime. So we're here for it, right?
RD Person says that's 25,000 dinar in the swear jar, please.
I'd rather give you $1,000 bill.
Give me all.
I'd rather give you $1,000 bill. Software updates with the bank. I agree. S-Dots.
Tanisha said, you good. Laugh my off. You good for cursing.
I am. I have a potty mouth. I swear.
Like a sailor.
I think fast. I talk fast. And you know what?
He cusses like a sailor.
Yeah, I'm grown. I'm real adult in here. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be. I have toned myself down for y'all because some of y'all said that I cuss too much. I'm trying to behave. But if I drop an F-bomb, I'm sorry. Bryce, you posed an interesting question. Is the Iraq-Iran deal the way that they forced to float? I would say it's a great indicator. Think about it. You got to do business based upon commerce. If the trade gives you some type of value because of supply trumps velocity, yes, it could force a float. That's very possible.
Float on.
Okay, that's in country.
Shakar at 732 says, sorry, I'm not fully understanding, but are you basically saying $25,000 notes would have the value before they delete the zero, or even if they did take the zeros off beforehand, what do we do?
Okay, what's her name? Shakar?
Yeah, Shakar.
Shakar. Here, I'll explain it.
Shakir.
Shakar, him or her, and I'm trying to be respectful for your name because I don't know if you're a guy or a girl. Okay, but I'm gonna explain it like this. So if they delete the zeros off of the currency, okay, and they delete the zeros off the rate is not 84 cents. We don't know what the exchange rate is. That's where all the speculation comes from. So the rate could be anywhere from nothing, $11.90 to $16, like Dr. Shakir says.
The rate right now is $11.90, right?
Right.
If they took 3 zeros,
but actually, it's 0.0084. That's actually the exchange rate. It's 0.0084. I have it memorized. It's etched in my brain.
Right. But on their, if you go to SBI or SBQI side, CBI,
right? Sorry. It says $11.90 per or $1,200 per. But that's not actually the exchange rate. That is the exchange rate for in country to out of country. The currency that I'm talking about is their currency that's valued on, like, let's say Forex or at a bank or a exchange place. Per 0084 holds a value. Once they delete those zeros, that value will increase because the demand will increase. And that will give you the value of your currency if they go that route. There's nothing to prove that they're going that route yet. Not yet.
Yeah, somebody just cussed.
Who cussed?
J. Lee Lopez. Yeah, Mr. Brando. F the IRS.
Yes! IRS. Hate the IRS. Government institutions are full of crap. Waste our taxpayer money.
Jason Lee says Guam and Australia is ready for this. Laugh out loud.
You know,
Mr. Brando, do you do your donor dance? Do your dinar dance. Haha.
Y'all don't want my dinar dance. Y'all, and I am going to do my dinar dance. I could dance like Fred Astaire.
He danced like Napoleon Dynamite.
And if that's my dinar dance, and
my drink's empty. Okay. When do you expect the Gazette to publish the budget? Hold on. And will we be able to see the info regarding the rate?
No, because there's no rate in the budget besides the rate that was posted probably on January 30th. And the second part of that is you will see it in there if there is in there, but it will not be the reflection that you're thinking.
Sam was like, I want to hear your thoughts on the IRS. You got fired up.
Oh, you want to hear my real thoughts on the IRS? Can I really give them that?
As long as you don't curse.
Okay. First of all, being a hardworking American citizen, I think the IRS and most places that tax you for earning an income in this country legally, is not having any merit because they have enough government spending through state tax, property tax, zoning taxes, whatever taxes, liquor tax, that they should be able to fund the government based upon those metrics. And not only is it accounting for that, but all their high-priced salaries there in Washington, D.C., and to the tune of their health care for the rest of their lives. I don't get health care for the rest of my life. So why the heck should they?
Right.
So
and for serving 4 years in the White House,
right?
You get paid for the rest of your life.
Exactly. So I'm going to pay XYZ.
Secret service.
Okay, and I get a bodyguard. Okay, so how much does a bodyguard cost? So why do I got to pay that?
Let's say he's a decent bodyguard. You're going to get $80K.
Him. There's no decent bodyguard. Screw that.
But I'm saying this is what the taxpayers pay for. We pay for Air Force One. We pay for the White House. We pay for the White House renovations. We pay for all the misappropriated funds. We pay for all of that. Every time that there's a new president, they have their own agenda. We pay for that.
Okay. So let's put it in perspective. If there was no IRS and we had an appropriation of the funds to go to correct areas, entities, Social Security, healthcare, Medicaid, our disabled veterans who are very important, our veterans that are out there paying for our military, do they not think that off of all the taxes that you pay in every nuance of your life, they couldn't cover it?
I have my thoughts. One, take the president's salary back down. Two,
he didn't get paid that much, $300,000.
No, it's more than that.
No, $500,000.
But still,
you don't get $1 million.
Still, do you know what the presidents used to get paid in the 90s? 100-something K. Take it back down to that. But okay, well, hold on.
Okay, I'll go with that. I'll go with that.
One, think about all the things you're taxed on. So when I own my business, do you realize if I purchase this table and I put it in use in my business, I'm taxed on it. Yes. I already paid tax on it when I bought it out of Walmart, Office Depot, Target. Sure. So it's double taxation. Right. If I take a car, I'm paid what? I paid what? Taxes on it. But guess what? If I use that car in a business, guess what? I pay taxes on it again.
Well, I have an idea.
It's taxes upon taxes upon taxes.
Now, no business owner or business entity gets to keep the tax money. It all gets filtered to the government, correct? Mm-hmm. So instead of the government wasting it on stuff that's not needed or seen, why don't they implement it to, I don't want to call them entitlements, but things that would help the American people grow? Or reinvest in our private sector, like Ford just said, and come back to America and reopen a whole bunch of jobs in like Chicago or Detroit. Employ more Americans. If you're going to pay tax here. But let those monies go to Americans fulfilling the American dream. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying we're taxed until
way too much,
way too often.
There's tax on my podcast. Well, y'all know that, right? I pay a tax.
Well, guess what? You get taxed at work, right?
Right.
You come home, you get taxed on your home, right? Mm-hmm. You put your house as a rental. Guess what? You're taxed again. And guess what? You have to have a rentals license. Guess what? That goes to your local city. So you're taxed upon tax upon tax. And if you start looking at the layers, it's like that movie, But you remember that the fifth dimension, fourth dimension? Do you remember that movie?
Not really.
With Leonardo DiCaprio? It's like it's just so many layers to it.
Right.
And you when you sit there and you map it out, and I'm anal that way, you start looking at it, you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm being taxed upon tax.
My monies aren't going towards anything but nothing. Right. It's a big hole and they're trying to fill it with money and they can't.
It's a cluster.
Gertcha. Hi guys, please do another. Yeah, Monica, I'll do one next Thursday then if you guys want to see one.
What's one? One what?
Do another show Thursday. We'll do another show Thursday. I think next Thursday's show will be about something on the fly because we're traveling. We'll get into that at the end. Stock portfolio. Hilda, I'm going to post my stock portfolio in here in a little bit so you guys can follow that and track it. Because my theory is if we took a little of our money right now that it's not dinar holding and put it into what I'm going to do, if we made something, we made something.
Jail.
Huh?
Breaking news, he went to jail.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Nothing, sorry.
Well, I knew that earlier. He went to jail last night.
Oh, I didn't know that. It just popped up in your phone.
Oh, okay.
I saw it. That's why I asked you to open it. Sorry. Sorry.
You serious, Mr. Brando? Yes, I'm serious. For it to happen. We don't. You guys, I told you guys, I'll say it again. I will know everything I need to know about the Iraqi dinar in April.
Eric said, thank you, Brandon. I truly appreciate you and Mrs. April putting yourselves out there like you do. I look forward to hearing what you bring to keep us up with you.
Well, I'm giving you guys everything I know. So that's why tonight I thought it'd be all about your questions and not about my news because there wasn't a lot of news anyway. And on Fridays, it should be for you guys, not for me, but for you guys.
It's Holy Day, right?
It is Holy Day. Mm-hmm. My contact was eating lunch with some friends. They went to mosque. They didn't do a lot today.
Sandra says invest in energy stock.
Invest in reusable energy stocks, especially things that will benefit the government without a dirty platform or a carbon footprint. I agree.
Oh, Tony Ingram wants to know who went to jail. Okay, so I like the rapper Little Baby. He went to jail. Hey, don't get embarrassed. That's what I listen to. When.
The Fed. Yeah, the Fed. The downfall of the central bank.
Sly says, when is the speculative date?
I don't have one, honestly. If I had one.
Well, Vital Brad said what?
Brad said.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. Brad said February 15th. That's the speculative date. I didn't say it. He said it. Phew. Perfect. I did, Seamus. I answered.
Oh, Trip in the Bag says, so can you hide these assets inside of an LLC or a trust?
An LLC, no. A trust, maybe. I don't know. I don't have a trust lawyer. I know that if you put your money inside of an LLC, there's tax involved with that.
Right.
And there's tax every year based upon your inventory, your cash flow, all kinds of things. So hiding your money in an LLC is actually a negative idea to what you're trying to do. Unless that LLC is going to show a loss for the next 5 years. In your certain
and the IRS is only going to allow you to show loss for so long
for 5 years.
They say shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
So speak with a financial tax planner.
Yeah, speak with someone that's way more versed than I am.
Yeah,
but I can only go off my own personal in my own personal knowledge, which is owning businesses and owning a few things that. Yeah, you can only show losses for so much time, and the IRS, man. You listen, y'all are worried about shoot. I don't know what you're worried about. I'm worried about tax. I'm worried about the
Good night, Edward. Go ahead.
You say good night?
Yeah.
Good night, Edward. I'm worried about other things. Taxes, I'm not really too worried about.
You're not worried about taxes?
I said I'm worried about taxes. Be my number one thing.
I have a problem giving away my money. I work hard for it. I just have a problem with it.
Yeah, hey, I've never looked at tax havens, but if someone could please go into it. There's tax havens out there for this. Could you please tell us what those tax havens are?
It says tax havens or tax havens?
He meant tax havens.
Okay, tax havens. Where's that at? Because I need to know how to beat the tax man. Okay. Yeah, our RD person, yeah, compound taxation. It's taxes upon taxes upon taxes. And when you sit back and think about it, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like when does it ever end? It doesn't.
Frank, I agree with you. Taxes are unconstitutional and illegal. I believe that also.
Yeah, but
no. Okay, so itchy brown eyes. If a 25 note goes without the deletion of the 3 zeros at 25,000, it's $25,000. If they cut off the 3 zeros at $1, it's only worth $25. That's honestly what it's worth.
As Dot said, in the Bible, we supposed to pay taxes. What would
you're supposed to pay tithes? I don't know about taxes.
Right.
Pay tithes. I don't know about taxes.
Right, and the tithes is what 10%.
10%.
And that's tax deductible. Tithes is tax deductible. Different than all these taxes we keep having to pay on top of tax.
Mr. Carl says, with such a long time with the reinstatement, why do you feel the Iraqi government is either not getting it or what are we not getting? Just thinking out loud. I think number one, they're thinking that corruption is so deep rooted that even if they could reinstate that they'd steal all the money. And number two, I think that their biggest fear is that they had to open their books and showed how highly indebted they really are. They couldn't revalue the money for what they really needed to be to pay off their own debts. That's my own opinion.
Tony said we need a fair tax act. Oh, we got a call.
Answer. No, just hit the button. The one that says audio. Audio. Oh, hide.
Hi
Hold
there.
on.
Can you repeat what you just said?
How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
All right, I'm doing good. I'm doing fine. It's Friday.
Thank you, Lord.
All right. Hey, Mr. Brando, I got a question for you.
Shoot, brother.
All right. Would you say that since you're in this investment, that the kind of energy, the kind of news we have since, 6 months, that something is going on? Something special is going on.
Yes.
Something different.
Yes.
You say something different.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But we can't. I mean, everybody, I think, are like in a hurry for something great to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to be patient, I guess.
I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah, we have to enjoy that because I think that, like in 2014 and around those dates, all the news we had from Iraq was like another war, another attack, another something bad, something very negative. And since like 6 months, I think like the vibe has changed. That's what I can see.
I agree with you.
The news. So I think people should be like patient because everything's going in a positive sense.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I want to congratulate you for the show you did, the gift you gave us on Tuesday at noon. It was awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll do one this Thursday. I'll try to come up with another topic we can go over again and have some fun, okay?
You can go over fractional bacon.
Okay.
Okay? Have a good one, bro.
Just one last thing because before I hang out, I just want to make sure every people that, because I follow some people on YouTube like you, and when you talk about Vital Brad never said something about the date. He said that one of his contacts speculated on a precise date, which is about the 15th February.
Okay.
Vital Brad was very specified. He specified that he wouldn't advance himself to any date.
Gotcha.
Okay, cool. No, thank you for clearing that up. I stand corrected. I'll be corrected. No, that's cool.
I think he's in the same mindset as you. Nobody wants to put a date because that makes no sense. You just have to let it go, I think. Anyway, have a great night and thank you again for all what you do. And have a good night, Miss Bibi.
All right, you too. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, I got to answer two things real quick. Number one, what's my timeline? I told you. I don't know in April what the dinar was functionally supposed to do. Peter Marshall says, Mr. Brando, do you know anyone genuinely involved, genuinely in the know with regards to the dinar? not crazy people, but genuine people. Peter Marshall, I can look at you and tell you unequivocally, yes, I do. I do. I actually do. I know people that are involved in large institutional buying that are involved in this for a profit that are up to something, but they will not divulge those remarks until April. They've told me that. So I hope Peter got his answer. Should we try HBC branch in Australia? I think you should. 86 cents to $1.
Pete just told me to go look at your inbox, and I don't see anything. So, Peaches, who are you referring to that sent Mr. Brando a message? Okay, here goes one.
What's it say?
Lucid Dreamer channel. It was interesting. It has an interesting theory. It says,
you can read the theory part.
Well,
read it.
This is meant for just your ears. Thomas from Lucid Dreamer channel on YouTube has an interesting theory. He says that the RV will never happen.
Okay.
Is that the same gentleman you spoke of yesterday and the Thursday?
It might have been. I haven't heard the whole thing yet.
He says that the RV will never happen. The reason why is the big banks, the Rothschild family, etc. do this all the time.
Okay, hold on. Let's stop. Hold on. Let's stop. The Rothschild family is only involved right now in owning 3 central banks. One is in North Korea, one is in Russia, and I believe the other is in Venezuela. So what does it have to do with anything?
So they're saying the country will come up with new notes. So everyone gets stuck with the old notes. They can't exchange them. What do you think about this?
I don't think anything, because they've never, ever said they're introducing new notes back into the dinar. Anytime they've introduced anything, the central bank always issues a statement. Now, I know for a fact the Rothschilds only own 3 banks. I know that. I've Googled it. I've looked it up. I've looked up on a few different platforms. It always says the same thing. South Korea, Russia, I believe is the other one, and Venezuela being the third. And we know how all those worked out. So there's no Rothschild conspiracy for central banking going on. There's no big hidden conspiracy person behind the window holding up the RI. It's just Iraq dragging their feet for whatever reason based upon their own economic plan. Are groups getting paid? Nope, because we're not getting paid.
Babe, check your Facebook Messenger, because she's saying it came from Corey. That wasn't Corey's message I read. So I'm not sure where she sent
it's not
this
my messenger.
To. Corey, let us know where you sent it to, because I've checked his fan page on Facebook. He said he checked his personal messages on Facebook. The only other place I can think of is your email.
Hold on. Neil said, I'm not saying that it's not applicable, but the intent of your heart, you should want to give it, because it's what Middlesex Institute, what God's perfect will is. It's a heart thing. I believe in that. I think God has a divine plan for everything. And I believe in fate, and I believe in faith. My fate is aligned with the stars, and the star says to me, in my mind, that this will revalue for a bigger value than what I paid for it, whatever that value is.
I don't see anything.
No, Peaches, we don't have till April. I'll know the function of the dinar in April. I won't know anything in April. I'll only know the function of the dinar.
We'll know what to expect, right?
I'll know exactly how to play it. Kevin, yeah, it is. It is creating money out of thin air. What happened to John? John moved on to greener pastures. Tell that to Kuwait. I agree.
Oh, it's 8:01. I gotta go.
Okay, y'all. Miss BB's got to go. I'll stay on here for a couple seconds.
Love after lockup.
We've got to go to the couples channel. Mr. and Mrs. J. Miss BB has to run. Are you going to the store?
I'm going to go watch Love After Lockup.
I'll stay on here for a few more minutes.
That's what I thought we were supposed to be doing.
Hold on. Mr. Carl said, Lex, I believe John is not welcome here because of some things he said. Not sure the details. No, John is always welcome here, but he has to be able to put forth some proof to what he's saying. The Rothschilds are a part owner of the Fed. Show that to me in writing. They are collecting taxes at the border and tariffs, but they need to collect those taxes in dinar or euros and put them in a bank that needs to be close by. Hey, Bambi. Peaches love after lockup. Yeah, everybody wants to go see that. We'll do our channel of mukbang on that in a few minutes. You guys can all have a great night. Neil, I think the idea that God doesn't manifest money. I think man did. And I think when you start talking about manifestations, I think that a lot of people think that the root of all evil is money. The root of all evil is not money. The root of all evil is man. And what man's free will puts upon everybody else. All right, guys. Well, we're down to 308 people. We've gone on long enough. Hold on, Mr. Brando. If the dinar hits, I'm running for president. I might need your vote. Sly, I'll vote for you. You'll be smarter than half these people we put in the presidency before or after this one anyway. Okay, y'all. On Monday, me and Miss B will be traveling. We'll be out of state. So the idea is that when we go, I don't know what time we'll be able to go live. We'll figure it out. I'll pack the equipment with me. So I will go live with her from an undisclosed location somewhere when we get there. And I appreciate all of you guys for staying tuned. I gave you guys that extra 5 minutes. The love of money is the root of evil. God's word, the other phrases, was man's. I mean, I don't think so. I think man is the root of all evil to a large extent. That's my opinion. You guys have a great night too, okay? We'll see you on Love After Lockout on Mr. and Mrs. J.